Before Rome had emperors, it had rulers. Before Rome had Caesars carved in marble, it had laws etched in bronze. For nearly 500 years, the Roman Republic prided itself on one sacred principle: no king would ever rule Rome again. That promise was born in blood. In 509 BCE, Romans overthrew their last king and swore an oath that no man would ever again wear a crown. Power would be divided. Authority would be temporary. Ambition would be restrained, at least in theory. And for centuries, it worked. Rome expanded. Armies conquered Italy, then Carthage, Greece, Spain, and the Eastern Mediterranean. Victory after victory fed Rome's confidence that its system was not just good, but superior. But success carries a hidden cost. As Rome grew, wealth pooled into fewer hands. Generals gained personal armies. Senators became oligarchs. Political violence crept into public life. By the 1st century BCE, Rome was no longer a republic of citizens. It was a battlefield of factions. And into that chaos stepped Lucius Cornelius Sulla. Sulla was not Rome's first strongman, but he was the first to do something unthinkable. He marched his army on Rome itself. Not foreign invaders, not rebels, Roman legions entered the sacred city under arms. It had never happened before. And once that line was crossed, Rome would never go back. This is the story of the man who broke the Republic so thoroughly that emperors became inevitable. This is Sulla. Lucius Cornelius Sulla was born around 138 BCE into an ancient patrician family, but one that had fallen into obscurity. The Cornelii were aristocratic by name, but Sulla grew up poor by Roman elite standards. He lacked political connections, he lacked wealth. What he had instead was something far more dangerous: resentment. Rome at the time was a society of extreme inequality. A small elite controlled land, offices, and courts. Veterans returned from wars to find their families swallowed by estates worked by slaves. Political reformers, men like Tiberius and Gaius Gracchus, had tried to fix this imbalance. Both were murdered for it. The lesson was clear. Reform through law was dangerous. Reform through force was safer. Sulla learned early that Roman politics was not about ideas, it was about survival. He rose through the military during the Jugurthine War in North Africa, serving under a general named Gaius Marius, a self-made man, a populist, and Sulla's future enemy. It was Sulla who negotiated the capture of King Jugurtha. It was Sulla who took the credit, and it was Sulla who never forgot that Marius resented him for it. Two men, two visions of Rome, and soon, two armies. The breaking point came in 88 BCE. Rome faced a massive threat in the east: Mithridates VI of Pontus, one of the most dangerous enemies Rome had ever encountered. He ordered the massacre of tens of thousands of Romans and Italians across Asia Minor. Command of the war meant glory. Glory meant power. The Senate awarded command to Sulla. Marius refused to accept this. Through political maneuvering, violence, and mob intimidation, Marius stripped Sulla of command and reclaimed it for himself. Sulla's response changed Roman history forever. He turned to his legions and then asked them a question no Roman general had ever asked. "Will you follow me against Rome?" They said yes. 6 legions marched south. Senators fled. Priests wept. Roman citizens watched in disbelief as Roman soldiers stormed their own city. Sulla seized Rome by force, declaring his enemies traitors and restoring his command. Then he left for the east. And while Sulla fought Mithridates, Rome burned behind him. Marius returned. His allies seized power. Political enemies were butchered in the street. Marius died soon after, but the cycle of vengeance had begun. When Sulla returned to Italy in 83 BCE, it was with one goal: total domination. Sulla defeated his enemies in a brutal civil war, culminating at the Battle of Colline Gate. Then came the Terror. Sulla declared himself dictator, not for 6 months, but for as long as he deemed necessary. And then he introduced something unprecedented: the proscriptions. Lists were posted in forms, names written in red. Anyone on the list could be killed on sight, their property confiscated, their families stripped of rights. At first, it was political enemies. Then, it became personal. Men were added for wealth, for grudges, for convenience. Estimates suggest thousands were executed. One young man barely escaped with his life. His name was Gaius Julius Caesar. Sulla spared him, but issued a warning: there are many Mariuses in that boy. Rome learned a terrifying lesson: the state could legalize murder, and future rulers would remember that. Unlike later tyrants, Sulla did something unexpected. He resigned. After reshaping Rome's constitution, weakening the popular assemblies, strengthening the Senate, restricting tribunes, Sulla stepped down. He retired to private life and died shortly after. Some Romans believed this proved his loyalty to the Republic. They were wrong. Sulla had shown that Roman armies could seize Rome. Violence could be legalized. Dictatorship could be normalized. Constitutional limits could be rewritten at sword point. He didn't save the Republic. He taught others how to destroy it. Without Sulla, there is no Caesar. Without Caesar, there is no Augustus. Without Augustus, there's no Roman Empire. Every emperor who followed walked through a door Sulla kicked open. He proved that Rome's laws were only as strong as the man commanding the legions. It all begins with Sulla, because empire doesn't start with a crown. It starts when fear replaces law. And Rome never stopped being afraid.